Your March payment might already be scheduled, and most seniors have no idea the exact date it lands in their account. The Social Security Administration follows a very strict deposit calendar based on your birthday, and missing that window, or worse, not knowing when to expect it, could leave you scrambling for bills that can't wait. Right now, in March 2025, eligible seniors receiving Social Security retirement benefits could see deposits ranging up to $1,150 or more, depending on their work history, filing age, and whether any recent cost of living adjustment has fully processed into their benefit amount. The SSA quietly updated its payment schedule, and millions of recipients don't even realize their deposit date shifted. Whether your birthday falls early, mid, or late in the month determines everything about when that money moves. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the exact March deposit dates, who qualifies for the higher amounts, and what to do if your payment doesn't show up on time. Let's start with the most important thing: the deposit schedule itself. The Social Security Administration does not send everyone their payment on the same day. That would be chaos for the banking system and for the SSA itself. Instead, they spread payments out across the entire month of March based on one simple factor: the day of the month you were born. Not the month, not the year, just the day. So if you were born on the 1st through the 10th of any month, your March payment is scheduled to arrive on the 2nd Wednesday of March. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your deposit comes on the 3rd Wednesday of March. And if you were born on the 21st through the 31st, your payment lands on the 4th Wednesday of March. This system has been in place for decades, but every single year, thousands of seniors either forget about it, get confused by it, or simply never knew about it in the first place. And that confusion can cause real financial stress when you're budgeting around a payment that you think is coming on one day and it actually shows up 3 or 4 days later. Now, there is one exception to this birthday-based schedule, and it is very important. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May of 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, which is also known as SSI, then your payment actually arrives on the 3rd of every month, regardless of your birthday. So if you've been collecting for a very long time, or if you're receiving that combined benefit, March 3rd is your date. Write that down. Put it in your phone. Set a reminder, because knowing your exact deposit date is not just convenient, it is essential for managing your household finances, especially when you're living on a fixed income where every single dollar has a job to do. Now let's talk about the money itself, because that's really what brought you here today. The figure of $1,150 is not a random number pulled out of thin air. It reflects something very real that's happening right now for a significant portion of Social Security recipients across the country. The average Social Security retirement benefit, as of the most recent data available, is sitting right around $1,907 per month after the cost of living adjustment, commonly called the COLA, was applied at the start of 2025. But averages can be misleading. A large number of seniors are receiving benefits in that $1,600 to $1,800 range, and $1,150 sits right in the middle of where many people's actual deposits land every single month. Whether your amount is a little higher or a little lower depends on a combination of factors that the SSA calculated based on your personal earnings history. Here's how that works. Your Social Security benefit is based on what is called your Average Indexed Monthly Earnings, or AME. The SSA takes your 35 highest earning years of work, adjusts them for wage inflation over time, and then runs that number through a formula to calculate your primary insurance amount, your PIA, which is essentially your base benefit. If you worked for 35 years or more in jobs where you paid into Social Security, and if your earnings were solid throughout those years, your benefit is going to be on the higher end. If you had gaps in your work history, worked part-time for portions of your career, or took lower-paying jobs, your benefit will be lower. The SSA fills in zeros for any years you did not work when calculating that 35-year average, which is why every year of earnings matters more than most people realize. And then there is the question of when you claimed. This is the decision that affects your monthly amount more than almost anything else. If you claimed Social Security at age 62, the earliest possible age, your benefit was permanently reduced by as much as 30% compared to what you would have received at your full retirement age. Full retirement age is 66 or 67 depending on the year you were born. If you waited until 70, your benefit was increased by 8% for every year you delayed past full retirement age, which means someone who waited until 70 could be receiving 24 to 32% more per month than someone with the exact same work history who claimed at 67. These differences add up to thousands and thousands of dollars over the course of a retirement, and many seniors made their claiming decision years ago without fully understanding the long-term financial impact. But here is something important that people do not always think about. It is never just about the number on your deposit. It is about whether that number is accurate. Social Security payment errors are more common than the SSA would probably like to admit. They can happen when someone's work record is incomplete, when a name change was never properly updated, when earnings from a self-employment situation were not properly reported, or simply due to administrative processing mistakes. If you have never sat down and carefully reviewed your Social Security statement, which you can access for free through your My Social Security account at ssa.gov, then you genuinely do not know whether your benefit is being calculated correctly. Some seniors discover they were underpaid for years, and others find errors in their records that, once corrected, result in higher monthly payments going forward. It takes time to fix these issues, but the money belongs to you, and it is absolutely worth the effort to make sure you are getting every dollar you are owed. Now let's talk about something that is affecting March deposits specifically, the COLA increase that went into effect at the beginning of 2025. The Social Security Administration announced a 2.5% cost of living adjustment for this year. For someone receiving $1,700 per month, that 2.5% increase adds about $42.50 to their monthly check. For someone receiving $2,000 per month, it adds $50. That might not sound like a dramatic number, but over 12 months, a $42 monthly increase adds up to more than $500 in additional annual income. The purpose of the COLA is to help Social Security benefits keep pace with inflation so that seniors are not slowly losing purchasing power every year. Whether the 2.5% increase fully covers what you've experienced in your own grocery bills, utility costs, and medical expenses is a separate conversation. But the increase is real. It is already reflected in your 2025 monthly payments. And if you have not noticed the slightly higher deposit amount, now you know exactly why it went up. Let's also address something that confuses a lot of people: the difference between Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security disability insurance, and supplemental security income. These are three completely separate programs, even though they all fall under the Social Security umbrella. Retirement benefits are what most people think of when they hear Social Security. They are earned through years of work and payroll tax contributions and become available starting at age 62. SSDI is for people who become disabled before reaching retirement age and can no longer work. SSI is a needs-based program for people with very limited income and resources, regardless of their work history. The deposit schedules, the benefit amounts, and the eligibility rules are all different for each of these programs. If you are receiving SSI or a combination of SSI and retirement benefits, you already know your payment comes on the 3rd of the month. But if you are on retirement benefits only, the birthday-based Wednesday schedule applies to you, and getting that date wrong even by a few days can throw off your entire monthly budget. Speaking of budgeting, this is something that does not get talked about enough in conversations about Social Security. Living on a fixed income requires a level of financial precision that most working-age people never have to think about. When your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your insurance premiums, your prescription medications, and your groceries all need to be paid every month from a single predictable source of income, knowing exactly when that deposit arrives is not just helpful. It is survival-level information. Many seniors set up automatic bill payments that are timed around their Social Security deposit date. If that deposit date falls on a bank holiday, for example, the payment will often be processed on the business day before the holiday rather than after it. The SSA typically announces these adjusted dates in advance, and your bank should also notify you. But again, it falls on you to know this information and to plan for it. Nobody is going to call you up and walk you through it. There is also a growing issue that specifically targets Social Security recipients, and it is deeply troubling. Scammers are actively targeting seniors with phone calls, text messages, and even official-looking letters claiming that their Social Security payments have been suspended, that there is a problem with their account, or that they need to verify personal information to receive their next deposit. This is a scam. The Social Security Administration will almost never call you out of the blue, and they will absolutely never ask you to verify your Social Security number over the phone, ask you to pay a fee to receive your benefits, or threaten you with arrest or suspension of payments. If you receive any communication like this, do not engage with it. Hang up, delete the message, report it to the SSA's Office of Inspector General. These scams have cost American seniors billions of dollars, and the fraudsters behind them are sophisticated, relentless, and very good at making their communications look and sound legitimate. The best protection is simply knowing that the real SSA does not operate that way. Now let's talk about what to do if your March deposit does not show up on the day it is supposed to arrive. First, do not panic. Give it one full business day before taking any action. Sometimes there are processing delays at your bank or credit union that have nothing to do with the SSA. If your payment does not arrive within 3 business days of your scheduled deposit date, then it is time to take action. You can call the Social Security Administration directly at their main number, which is 1-800-772-1213. You can also visit your local Social Security office in person or log into your My Social Security account online to check the status of your payment. When you call or visit, have your Social Security number ready, as well as your bank account information so they can verify the direct deposit details on file. Missing payments are relatively rare, but they do happen, and the SSA has a process for investigating and resolving them. One more thing that many seniors are not aware of: if you are still working while receiving Social Security retirement benefits and you have not yet reached your full retirement age, there are earnings limits that can affect how much of your benefit you actually receive. In 2025, if you are under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to a certain threshold before the SSA temporarily withholds a portion of your benefit. Once you reach full retirement age, those limits go away completely, and you can earn as much as you want without any reduction in your Social Security payments. This is not a permanent reduction. The withheld amounts are recalculated and added back to your future benefit once you reach full retirement age, but it can be confusing and surprising if you were not expecting it. The bottom line is this: your Social Security deposit in March is coming, and for a very large number of seniors receiving retirement benefits in 2025, that amount is going to land right around the $1,150 mark or higher, depending on your personal earnings history and the claiming decisions you made. But knowing when it arrives, making sure the amount is accurate, protecting yourself from scams, understanding how COLA adjustments work, and knowing what to do when something goes wrong, all of that knowledge is what separates seniors who feel financially confident and in control from those who feel anxious and uncertain every single month. Social Security is not charity. It is not a government handout. You earned every single dollar of that benefit through decades of hard work, and you deserve to receive it correctly, on time, and without confusion. So check your birthday. Look at this month's calendar. Find the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th Wednesday of March based on when you were born. Log into your My Social Security account if you have not done so recently, and review your payment history and your benefit statement. And if anything looks off, make the call. You have earned the right to ask questions and to demand accurate answers. Your March deposit is coming. Make sure you are ready for it.